All right, we are live. Series of Silliness Bodybuilding. This is Shooting the Breeze. And we are just waiting for Lee Priest to show up. He should show up about 10 minutes or so. He actually texted me, said he was going to be a little late. And we have a special guest coming on at around 9 o'clock. She is a huge fan of Lee Priest, and she is a friend of mine. She's been on my show several times. And she wants to meet Lee Priest. So I said, well, come on the show. And she is a very special woman, as you will see when she gets here. Anyway, while we're waiting for Lee, let me just plug some of the sponsors we have. Actually, I might only have one sponsor. The other two are just kind of like things I do for friends. But anyway, my one sponsor is the Boxadil. So if you're going bald like me, or you've been bald, before you like rock the bald look like me, try the Boxadil. The description, the link is in the description. Supposedly it has every ingredient you could possibly think of to stimulate hair growth, and there has been research studies done on it, and it has worked, and it is a pretty good product. So please go to novoxadil.com. Like I said, link is in the description, and the discount code is JOHN. Now, the two of them for my friends. The first one is iprevailsups.com. So if you're looking for great pre-workouts, great sleep aid, great branched chain amino acids, and great pump products, go to iprevailsups. Again, the link is in the description. Discount code is SND, the sign end, like they used to use in, I don't even know if they use it in school anymore. S&S10. And of course, you guys know that's Jason Owens' line. And my friend, Arman Adibi, he is becoming another good friend of mine. I am plugging his line. And I'll be honest with you, I really like his intra. It's essential amino acids, and it also has creatine in it. And you drink it while you train to help it repair. It actually tastes really good. So what you do is you go to amanadibi.com. Again, link is in the description. Go there and click it. And he's got other great products. He's got pump products. He's got a whole bunch of stuff. That just happens to be my favorite one that he puts out. Anyway, all right. So while we're waiting for Lee Priest, we have another friend of mine who just jumped into chats. Hey, everyone. Hope is all well, including John and Lee. Hope you both are feeling better. Thoughts and prayers. Love you guys. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. If you guys hadn't heard, 2 weeks ago, I had really bad COVID. And then after COVID, I had vertigo, which is not 100% away. If I move a certain way, I still get dizzy. If I lay down on a bench, I get dizzy when I sit up. It's fucking horrible. With Lee, after he traveled to the UK and Dubai and came back to Australia, after a really rigorous tour that he had, he wound up in the hospital. He had a bad upper chest infection, and he also had blood clots. And I think he was in the hospital for 3 nights. They monitored him, and now they sent him home a few days ago. He's feeling much better, which is why he's joining me tonight. Glad to catch you live. I love all your stuff, bro. Natty Gaines. You don't realize how much that means to me. I know a lot of people say that, right? But the reason why it's when people say I love your stuff, that I love it so much when people say it, is because I'm 48. And for 48 years, I've been a regular dude, just like everybody else. I've worked as an electrician for 10 years, and then I got the job as a sewer worker. Always made a nice living. Competed a bunch of times, but never really panned out anything. So now, basically, I am getting recognition through this channel, but I don't look at myself as special. So when I hear nice things about you guys saying nice things about me, it really, really feels good because 1, I'm entertaining, and 2, I know that it's working, that people are enjoying it, and we are just keep digging and scratching along, and hopefully we can make a living do this. And I'm not going to change. If you guys have noticed, I don't know if you guys have noticed, every once in a while I have somebody on who's a no-name. And not a no-name, they're just regular guys. They watch my show. I think this happened 3 times. 3 or 4 times. Somebody hits me up. regular guy that goes to the gym and says, I would love to come on your show. And I go, okay, come on. Right? Just come on and hang out. All right. And guess who is here? Oh, shit. It's fucking Lee Priest. What's up, bro?
Oh, living the dream. Oh.
I know. You really are. Traveling all over the place, in hospitals.
I know.
Okay.
Getting better though. You had fucking bandana on again. You wank.
You don't like it?
My fan, you can't hear my fan, can you? Beside me, I got a misting fan.
I don't hear a motherfucking thing, son.
Good.
Thank you, Natty Gaines. I really appreciate that, dude. Really, I appreciate all the love and support.
Oh, you're welcome.
Somebody says,
like
Alexander Storm says, I hope you're okay, Lee. So why don't you just tell us what the fuck happened? How'd you wind up in the hospital? By the way, before you start, everybody out there, I just want you to know that Lee sends me pictures of his phlegm that he coughs up. just decided, like, I would take your word for it that you were sick, but no, he had to prove it. So go ahead, man.
In case I didn't get the doctor's note, but I was over there for 12 days. The first 10 days, you're just going from gym. Next day, you get on a plane, go to another part of the country, do the seminar at night, have dinner, have breakfast, get up, either get on a train or a rental car, take off to another part of the country, do the gym at night. So generally just having breakfast and dinner. And then during the travel, I wasn't drinking as much water as I should because, if you're traveling, I hate pissing all the time. So especially if you're in a car.
Bro, where'd you go? Where'd Lee Priest go, man? This motherfucker just...
Where'd you go?
Where'd you go? We got you back, bro.
I can't see you.
Oh, man, you're all fucked up. See, this is what happens with Lee Priest. See, it just comes in and he just fucking... It's always a shit show with him. It's always a shit show. He'll figure it out. He'll be back. He'll click that link and come back in. Unbelievable. Let's see. Likewise, thank you too. See, here he is. Mentioning as well. Much, of course, brother. Anytime. All right, you're back, bro.
So as I was saying, all the traveling, and then had 1 day's break. That was before the night I was meant to come back, and then coming back, I thought, great. They upgraded me to business class. I think this is going to be great. Relax a bit. Get on the first flight, flying. He's like, oh yeah, cool. Don't feel too bad. And then I get a text message because I got Wi-Fi in business class. We have changed your next flight from Dubai, because I was meant to get into Dubai at midnight, 12 a.m. 12 a.m. And my next flight was leaving at 2 a.m. So I'm like, that's not a long layover. But then I get a text message. You have been put on another flight and you do not leave to 9:45 p.m. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm getting in at 12 a.m. So I got to sit there from...
what the fuck, Lee?
And just keep going. So I'm like, fuck that. It's like... So I ended up getting... And I'm like, oh, for where? They're like, you got to leave the airport. I'm not leaving the fucking airport. I feel shit as it is. The feel crap because of just all the traveling. And what happened was the plane coming before me, an Emirates plane, was late. So for some reason, because their plane was late, they put those people on the 2 a.m. one and moved people off the 2 a.m. one, which I never understood, where if you have a ticket and your baggage is booked on that plane, how they can just kick you off. So I got taken off and I said, you got a hotel above the airport here. I want to stay in that one. So they fiddled around, got me that one. Okay. Did that. Stayed in the room for a while, tried to sleep, but fucking body clock's all out of whack. So
I can only imagine.
I landed there at like 12:30. It ended up landing, and then I waited. I said, "What time's breakfast here?" Because I had like the vouchers for breakfast. They're like 3:30. So I could go back at 3:30. It's not the 4. So I'm like, "Fuck! I want to go to sleep." So I waited the 4 just to eat something. Finally got to bed, did whatever. Anyway, hopped on the next flight. It was a bit late. But in travel time, when it says on your thing, total travel time, 42 hours. And that's not including...
So. Holy shit.
So then when I land in Sydney, it's 2 hours late. We land and we're like 50 meters from the gate. And we sat there for an hour because there was a storm, and we can't have the workers come out with the, that big truck they just hook up on the plane to tow it in.
Mm-hmm.
We can't have the workers come out because there's lightning. I'm thinking, oh, fuck. So we just sit on the plane till the lightning stopped. Finally get in, get my bags, go through customs, get to the garage, go to start the car. The battery's dead, sitting there for two weeks. So now I'm like, oh, fuck, I call roadside assistance. I called that. And the garage, I've just been over in 4 degrees, -1, come home and it's...
Jesus. Come on back, Lee. Come on back. There you are.
Yeah, human as hell. Yours is like spinning too on me, and then you disappear for a second. So I'm waiting, and it doesn't come. So I called a lady back. Where's the thing? Well, the guy took your call. He said he's on the way, but he's not answering his phone. I'm like, oh, fuck this. It's too hot in this car park. So I went down to the valet parking because I always normally park there, and they had a jumper back. So I'm like, fuck. I borrowed that, went up, car started, got home at 2 a.m. Now I'm really feeling shit after the 2-hour drive. Your head's just...
Oh, when you had a 2-hour drive after that? Wow, man.
Got to bed at 2 a.m. Said hi to the wife. She was asleep. She got up early at 3:30 to go to work. She went to work. I got up and did some stuff, and now I'm just feeling like shit. I'm like fucking coughing up shit, harder to breathe, and laying down. I'm trying to do just my daily chores. I'm like,
yeah,
I feel bad. And I think she had a bit of a feeling coming on too, like a flu type thing. So I'm just laying on the couch. She come home early from work, and I'm laying there. She's like, you don't look too good. I'm like, she's like, yeah, if you don't get better. So she's like, I think I'm going to call the ambulance. So within 10 minutes, the ambulance was there, and I was off to the hospital.
Wow. And how long were you in the hospital for? For 3 days, 3 nights?
Yeah, 3 days.
Oh, God, that sucks, man. Well, I'm glad.
The thing is, I got private health care. So, like, if there's a private room, I'll give it to you, but they were taken. So I got a room with, there was an older woman here, older woman there, one over there. Oh my God! Through the night, they're just carrying on. Help! The cords are choking me.
Oh God!
And then the other old woman, she was losing her marbles because they're going to put her in a home. But yeah, she was one of those, like, even though she was losing her marbles, she was really quick-witted.
Yeah.
So if the doctor or someone said something, she'd say, like if a comedian's on stage and someone's heckling them, they get right back at them.
Yeah.
So she kept me entertained because she was losing her mind. Of course, she was so quick with the doctors and the smart-ass heads. She was pretty funny.
Yeah. So I'm glad you're feeling better, man. How much? What do you say? You think you're 90% better? Or you think?
I'd say 85. The flame stopped, so that's good. Still got a bit of
another couple of days.
Still feel like you get those hot flushes. Where you feel like, I went to the gym today. It's like, I don't want to push it hard because, when you go, I think I feel okay, and you go to the gym, you go too hard, then the next day you're like, oh, shouldn't have done that. Went too hard. So.
Oh yeah, I've done that. Yeah, absolutely. So the last time I was in the hospital, well, not an American, like for a procedure. I had
breast implant.
Yeah. I had my sex change operation. I had a spinal stenosis, and I had 3 discs that had to be removed. Right. So it was the back of my neck. So they did it. They go in there, they do it. Blah blah blah. I was in the hospital for 2 nights. Right. And of course, I'm in the room with a guy and another guy.
I'm just going to turn this for a second. I think I can still hear you.
So, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So, when you're in the hospital and there's a guy next to you, you kind of make friends a little bit, especially if you kind of like on the same page, you both speak English, whatever, because what the fuck else is to do there when he's sitting in pain? But anyway, this guy had a double knee fucking replacement, right? Which is major surgery, and this guy was in pain, and they wanted to give him like I don't know if it was nowadays to get strong painkillers is very difficult, right? Like they wouldn't even give me, they had to check to see if they would give me Tylenol or codeine, because after
they weren't giving out Oxycontin like they normally do. Like
that's over. But they offered this guy, I don't know if it was Oxycontin or one of those really strong painkillers, and the guy didn't want to take it because he was afraid he was going to get addicted, And his wife his wife was like, "You're not going to get addicted." He's like, "I don't want to take that shit." And
Yeah.
you could tell he was either from Brooklyn or Queens or Staten Island or something like that because he had an accent. But all night he's in pain. So all night he's going,
That's a old lady. She's like,
and
call
then
the old lady, call, you know, the call button. They're like,
yeah,
tell the old lady, call the call button. She just lays in bed. Help, help.
So I got the thing around my neck because I had the neck surgery, right? And this guy's in bed all night going, and I said to him, yo, buddy, I don't remember what his name was. I want to say his name was like, I want to say Sal or Steve. This is 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say it was Steve. I don't remember. Whatever, doesn't matter. And he was an Italian guy from like, you know, like kind of like my background. So I was like, yo, well, you know, you all right, man? He's like, oh, I got a double knee replacement. I don't want to take that fucking shit they give you. And I was like, oh, maybe you should take something, dude, because it sounds like you're in a lot of pain. Plus, I didn't tell him I can't sleep, but I was trying to like convince him a little bit. And he's sitting there going, I don't want to take that shit. Everybody gets addicted. I don't want to get addicted to that shit. And he's like,
it takes at least, I think, 2 weeks, doesn't it? Of being on
yeah.
it.
The best part was the next day, you know, he can't fucking walk, you know, the guy can't walk yet. Right. So he's got his shit in the pan that the nurse gives him. And he's completely fucking humiliated that this guy has to shit in a pan in front of a female nurse and his wife is there and he's fucking cursing.
The worst thing is you can probably hear him shitting.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. It was the worst because he was like, oh, you know, because they were trying to move him over and move him in the right places, and
those curtains in between the beds don't stop the smell, does it?
No, not at all. So he's fucking screaming in pain and cursing at the nurses and cursing his wife because they're trying to fix him to pick him up so that they can, you know, so he could shit in that fucking pan. And then he shits in the pan and he shits all over himself and he's like fucking cursing. He's like, this is ridiculous. He goes, I'm a fucking grown man. The guy was like in his 60s and I got to fucking shit in front of these women. This is terrible. And I'm sitting there just like, oh my God, this fucking is horrible. Just the stink. And then they got to wipe his ass for him and shit. You know, and he's just cursing and motherfucker, cocksucker. I can't believe this. I'm in pain and I'm humiliated. And I was like, oh, I got to get the fuck out of here. This was fucking crazy.
That reminds me, I went to hospital, it would have been a couple of years ago now. I think I was dehydrated and just sick. So I go in there, you know, they put the fucking cannulas in so they can take blood at times. I've got one here, one in this arm so they can like put shit in this one, take blood samples from this one. Got the gown on, got the fucking other wires that monitor your heart and shit. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I think I'm going to be sick. But I can't. I was like, no, I can't throw up. So the nurse goes, let me give you a tablet. And it's like, okay. But I didn't know this tablet makes you throw up. She goes, I'm going to give you a tablet and this like little bucket here. So I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, she gave me this tablet. I swallowed it. I put it under my tongue. Within 10 minutes, I'm like,
Oh.
I mean, but the thing was, because I was so sick, I like that guy. As I vomited, I fucking shit myself. So I'm laying there with the bucket, the vomit, fucking diarrhea thing, and I'm like, fucking, I'm trying to get out of my gown. I'm halfway out the bed, standing on the bed, gown half off. The nurse comes in. I just looked at her and said, I'm sorry. I couldn't get out. There's just like shit and vomit everywhere. She just goes, it's okay. But the position I was in with the cords and that, and then trying to get out of a gown when you got shit on it. Like,
oh, just completely humiliating. But anyway, besides all that mess, tell me about the tour before you got sick. You were all over the UK, and then from the UK you went to Dubai.
Just the layover, just the stopover. So.
Oh, okay.
But the stopover ended up being 20 hours, so I could have went sightseeing.
Yeah, really.
I was in Glasgow, that's Scotland, and we went all through the UK. Then we shot across to Ireland, then back from Ireland to the UK. Then from there we went into Wales, and from Wales back to Glasgow. Oh, just thinking about it. Oh.
And you were with Giles the whole time? Is his name Giles or Giles?
Giles and Chris that owns the gym that brought me over as well. So let's say it was fun. It was good meeting all the fans, but I'm going to do a European tour with them in July, but we're going to do it where seminar one day, next day break, relax.
Yeah. Well, when in July? Because you got vacation coming up in June, bro.
I'm not sure I'm going to make it now. I got to look into it.
I'm going to be the only one going. This sucks.
It's July. I'm not sure because Amsterdam. There's an Amsterdam Muscle Fest or big expo on that Ronnie's going to. I think they have it every year. I'm going to start off at the expo, and go from the expo under a little tour from there. So.
All right, very nice, man. Very nice. All right. Looks like I'll be the only one going to Las Vegas last week of June. It's fine.
I'm not even going to the Arnold Classic because.
Oh, what happened? You were supposed to go.
CT scan. I was meant to be there for Jim Reapers, but luckily Jim Reapers is going to the Olympia. They're like, I don't know, because they're still up in the air if they saw blood clots or not. So to be on the safe side, they gave me all the injections in the stomach and that, and the CT scan. So, like, well, just to be on the safe side, as I said, I got to travel at the end of February. They're like, maybe that's only like 3.5 weeks away. Maybe you shouldn't travel just yet, just in case. So I'm like,
yeah,
no, great.
How is Giles? You were with him the whole time, huh?
Yeah, good. I first did a tour with him. I think it was 06, he said. 06. So it was almost 19 years later that we done this tour. And I said, am I any crazier? Because the first tour he wrote up how it went. He goes, I'm going on tour with Lee again. And he explained how the first one was. I said, oh, I can't wait to see your report on this second one.
Wow. I know I had Giles on once before, and he knows who I am because I worked at Muscular Development for a short period of time. And so I had him on and we interviewed. Great guy, nice guy. And I know he's got a girlfriend, and I'm not being a dick. Is he a little
no.
Does he have sugar in the gas tank?
Sometimes talks that way. Yeah.
Does he have is he a Fenoik? In Italian you would say Fenoik.
No, he's not. He's not non-binary, bi.
No, he's straight. I mean, I don't,
very like that at night when he has a few drinks and he's wearing his jacket and he's ascot. I start giving him a hard time about being that way.
Makes no difference to me what a man does in his private life. You know what I mean? I don't care. I'm just curious.
I'm always like that. I'm like, Giles, come out of the closet. You little fucking scarf you wear like that and your little fucking hanky in the pocket.
Yeah. Just checking.
That was fun. Lots of laughs. So it was
good.
Pretty good.
Good to hear, man. Good to hear. Yeah, man. You're a lucky and gifted dude that you're able to make a living like this traveling. I mean, I know it sucks. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But it's a hell of a lot better than
fun. It's like, I get to go somewhere now. You're like, how far is it? Oh my god.
Yeah. It's a hell of a lot better than going, 42 feet below sea level like I do every day to clean up fucking human feces.
I was even thinking, even when I was saying to Giles to fly home, I'm like, well, if we were going back 100 years, I'd have to come by fucking sailing ship. I'd jump overboard. Like, fuck.
Now, do you get what do you call it? Or that's all paid for? It's all comped? How does that work?
Yeah, they pay the airfare, accommodation.
Oh, yeah? Who does exactly, if you don't mind me asking?
I think they just do it when they get like the gyms to pay however much the gyms pay to have me in that, then they just take it out of that.
Oh, so Jim Reaper had nothing to do with it?
No, this was just organized by Giles and Chris.
Oh, okay. So they pay for everything, your flight, your hotel.
They had those T-shirts printed up, and then they had. Did you like the T-shirt with the priest collar in it?
So do they pay you on top of that or no?
Yeah, because they get paid for that, and then they had like posters done up, photos. They had the water bottles and those T-shirts for sale, and they just whatever it cost to print them and make them, they just took that back out of the sales, and I got the sales from that.
Ah, all right. Well, that's cool. So you made some money. It's a good thing you didn't have to fucking, you weren't in Vegas, or you didn't go gambling in Dubai because that shit would have been. Do you know the comedian? Did you ever hear the comedian Artie Lang?
Artie Lang used to be on the Howard Stern show.
Right. He tells this story. Well, he used to tell a story when he was doing stand-up. That he did a stand-up New Year's Eve. I don't remember what year, obviously a long time ago, to do in Vegas, and they paid him, I think, $100,000 because this is when he was on top of the world. This is when he was on the Howard Stern show, on top of the world. Everybody knew him. He was making movies. They paid him $100,000 to do the stand-up, and I think by the time he left Las Vegas, he was down $150,000.
But But he just took it and went and gambled it all, did he?
It was unbelievable. Yeah. Oh, I'm the worst gambler. I gamble. I win a few bucks. I will walk away. I'm like, fuck this.
I try to walk away sometimes, but then it's always sometimes when it teases you, it gets down, but then it goes ding, ding, and it builds you right back up.
Yeah.
And it goes down, then it goes back. I started once with $20 and sat there at 2 a.m. from like 9:30 to 2 a.m. playing this one machine.
Yeah.
I'd be like down 20, then I'd be up to 200, back to 100, back to. I end up having $800 so dollars, and I'm thinking, walk away now, walk away.
Oh, yeah.
You put $20 in, you got 800. Just go back to your room. No, because I'm always thinking the big one's going to come. If I walk away, someone's going to get it.
Yeah.
So I ended up walking back to the room with nothing. I'm like, you fucking idiot! You could have left.
But something like that, you know what? At least you were playing for a long period of time, and you had a good time playing. With me, this is generally speaking, I like to play roulette. I like to play roulette because it's the worst odds, but if you hit a lot of money. But so here's my theory, which doesn't always
on roulette, or do you just go red or black?
No, here's my theory. I'll tell you how it works, which doesn't work all the time. Okay. If you pick a color, red or black, then it's like about 50-50. Okay. Obviously you have, the 0 and 00 depending on the board. And some of them even have like a 000, but whatever. So it's usually about 50-50. So what I do is I'll take $100, $150, and I'll put it on a color. And I'm like, okay, it's 50-50, right? And then if I win, boom, I double my money. I put the 150 I started with in my pocket, right? And then I feel like I'm playing with house money. Then I start spreading it across the board, right? Then I only do.
I understand when they start spreading, and then they put it on like if there's a number there, they put it like in the center of the number, like on the corners. Yeah,
I don't do that. I bet it straight up because it's like 36 to 1. So if you bet it straight up, it's 36 to every dollar you put on top of that. So then I do that, but it doesn't always work that way. There are times where I put $150 on red, and then I lose it, and then I'm like, fuck. Now I got to put $250 on red, and then I lose it. And like 10 minutes in, I'm like down $500. I'm like, that didn't fucking work. That sucked.
You ever think they're fucking rigged though? Sometimes those fucking things.
Honestly, I think yes, I think so. And I will only gamble on roulette when it's a ton of people, because there are times where I had a roulette table all by myself, and there were times where and they're like I'd have half the board covered, and the ball would just fucking go on the other half, and or I'd be betting.
What are the fucking odds? What are the fucking?
Yeah, right. Or I'd be betting black or red, and then every time I bet black or red, fucking ball would land on the other color, and I'm like, okay, this is the last time.
Can you change it? Can you change it before it stops?
You know what? I don't know. I never tried that. They usually go like this: normal bets, normal bets. And here's the thing. Here, I'll give you another. My father taught me how to play. when my father used to play the way I played, but 10 times worse, because my father was a maniac. I already told you about him, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He had his background. So instead of playing black or red, what he would do is he would pick one number, and he would usually pick his mother's birthday, because he was very close to his mother. The birthday was 19. And he would just put $25 straight up on 19. And he would call it pressing a number. And he would play that number until it came out. But some nights it didn't come out.
How long did that take?
Yeah. Some nights it didn't come out. But if it did come out, right? If it did come out, he would get bang. He would win like $5,000 off the book, because if he loses 10 times,
if he sat there for a couple of hours waiting,
right.
How much has he betted to begin with?
Exactly. So it's, it'll be 25, 25, 25, and then he loses it. He'll put 50, 50, 50. He'll lose 100, 100, 100, right? And then if it comes out, then what he does is he would study the wheel, because the board and the wheel is completely different, right? So if 19 comes out, then he would bet the 5 numbers in front of 19 on the wheel and 5 numbers behind the 19 on the wheel, because the roulette dealer, their spin is always the same. It's just, it's just like by instinct. So if their spin is the same, odds are it's just going to land in that same spot, right? So he would bet a quarter of the wheel.
He's getting very technical now.
Yeah. And then he would quit when another dealer would come in, because now their spin is completely different. He'd be like, I'm out. We're done.
So my great grandmother used to play the pokies, and she reckoned that pulling the handle a certain way, halfway, and then up and then down, would spin the things different. I'm like, I don't think so. I think if you just pull it, it's all automated. It's already, I think, programmed when it's going to pay out and when it's going to go. But she's like, no. If you do this a certain way, I'm like, yeah, okay. I guess if you believe that.
Lee, we got to change topics because I have a special guest that wanted to meet you.
Okay.
She is a dear friend of mine. Can
I just quickly take a pee?
Oh, you want to pee first?
Yeah. Can I just pee?
Okay, go pee first.
Thanks,
and
Dad.
Then, all right, go pee first, and then I'll bring her in. Okay.
Thank you. Oh.
Hi. You think he's going to be surprised? Can you hear me?
I'm gonna be surprised. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
It's we're talking like legend here. It's like
you know what you got to do, Luna. You know what you got to do. You got to bring the camera so it's just up to here, right? So we just see your face, and then like 2 minutes in, just bring it down. And then all of a sudden, just pan it down so we could see the cassava melons.
The cassava melons.
Oh yeah. So for the people who are watching, Luna is a friend of mine at this point. She's been on my show several times. I was actually on your show once. Yeah. And she is a large-breasted Instagram model. Yeah. Yeah. That is her claim to fame. Her husband is also a bodybuilder, but he's not professional, but he's a bodybuilder.
But look at my
there you go. Even Luna is a bodybuilder.
Hello.
All right. Lee is back. Lee, I would like you to meet my good friend Luna Mons. She couldn't wait to come on and meet you. And
when you say good friend, you mean your only friend? Yeah,
I don't have many friends. Yeah,
I think he doesn't have that many friends.
No, all my friends are virtual. To be honest with you,
chatbot.
Yeah, but Luna's very famous in the Instagram world. Actually, Luna, why don't you tell Lee why you're so famous in the Instagram world? I'll leave it to you.
I mean, because I have a couple of assets.
All right. Why don't you show? Why don't you just show?
They're just. But I have muscles too, so But
yeah,
that's why.
That's from incline dumbbells and flat bench press.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is what I do. I do a lot of reps. But
all right.
I just want to say it's an absolute honor. I was a kid that in the 90s when bodybuilding was like the shit. Like that's when bodybuilding.
Now when you say the 90s, doesn't it? It's like, oh my god.
Oh yeah, I'm that old. So, but I wish bodybuilding would kind of come back to that where you were excited to see the shows and people were up there on stage and like even the female bodybuilders, like, I mean, it was, and you're like you're a legend. I'm just like in awe. I'm like, it's pretty. It's pretty.
You have it like in America now too, amateur shows. Like when you go watch a contest back in the 90s or whenever, like if it's the Nationals or the USA or whatever, you're competing in it. You do your class, you do whatever, but then you'd stay and support everyone.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like in America with some of these amateur shows, but it's like as soon as people do their class and they get a trophy, they piss off. So by the time the heavyweights come on to the last classes, like half or 3/4 of the audience is gone because everyone's just so into themselves. I did my bit, I got some photos, and then they all piss off. No one sticks around to support the whole show anymore.
Yeah, no, nobody does. Are you kidding? Like if I go there, I go to watch a friend at an NPC show, or I'm at Jason Ons's Muscle Beach, because he promotes it. But other than that, that's it. So Luna, why don't you tell us about yourself? Because you were on my other channel. You were never on my bodybuilding channel. So the people that are watching, why don't you tell us about yourself? Tell us about your breast augmentation history, because I think that is very interesting for people who don't know. Because obviously Luna has breast implants, but she has very, very special breast implants. So go ahead.
Okay, put me on the spot here. So let's just start with that. I am a former power lifter. Actually, I hold national records in deadlift and bench. So these were after the after it was like, I guess, my treat to because I always wanted to.
It would have been good in bench. You would have had far to bring the bar down if you had.
I know. because I would definitely I would cheat because you're not going down all the way. So, but yeah, so I've always been in the sport of like fitness, and I used to help out John Sherman in like
Oh, yeah.
in the bodybuilding show. So I was
He's a
like
good
the
bodybuilder
backstage
back in
manager.
the day, wasn't he? Sherman,
Yeah.
John the Sherman Tank.
The Tank. Yep. The Tank. I met like Mike Materazzi.
Yeah.
So unfortunately he's passed away,
Yeah.
but yeah, Nazir. And so it was like I said, in the 90s was just awesome. I just wish we could, like I said, have kind of like that thrill back again. But so anyway, just I was in fitness and wanted to kind of just I was kind of like getting like they were saggy, so I was like I wanted to just get some improvements, and these were called expanders. And these expanders is where you basically can pump up saline and they can grow as big as you want them to grow. So I have like 2 ports on the side, and where they just put in saline, and then it's just a gradual process. So you can even take some out, you can put some in, just depending on
It's like
what
going to the garage with a flat tire. Just
That's it. So why don't you tell them how many cc's you have now and equate that to your cup size?
I'm at 5100 cc's
On both,
Yeah.
or
So that is like, gosh, I mean, because I wear sports bras now because there's no bras that really can fit. So we're looking at, gosh, like 36T.
T, as in tomato, as in Tony.
As in Tony, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
wow. That is that. You know what? That's impressive.
that 5100 cc's. That's probably almost like a amateur bodybuilders these days cycle in 2 weeks.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. But in her case, it's silicone.
Yeah. No, well, actually, it's saline, but yeah. But yeah, that's like
saline. Sorry.
Yeah, but but I have other attributes as far as that. I'm actually going to be going back to school. I'm going to go get my master's in cybersecurity. So,
yeah.
yeah.
They don't do silicon anymore, do they? Won't they get a lot of problems with silicon, or they still do them?
Yeah. Well, it's the saline is like better because if it does like break and leak, it's less it's less harmful for your body than the silicone. So.
From what I understand, the implants are a lot better than they were in the 90s and early 2000s now. It's very rare that you have a break unless you're like, one of these, professional wrestlers or something like that, and you put it under some serious stress.
Yes. I mean, you definitely don't want to be just,
yeah,
bouncing them or
causing. My mum had some taken out. I think in the late 80s, my mum had some and had them removed. I remember she brought them home in a brown paper bag. It looked like just this white bag of like clear liquid. It just looked like a ball of jelly.
Yeah. I don't know why would you bring them? Why would you bring them back? I don't know. Lee, your weird mother's almost as weird as my mother. Jesus.
No, I didn't get the thermometer up the bum like you.
Yeah. Did you hear that story, Luna? Did you pay attention? Did you watch the last time Lee was on with me?
No, I didn't know this. I thought this was like the first time.
You need to watch it. It'll explain a lot about why Johnny's the way he is today.
Yeah, I have some serious mommy issues. So we were talking about when we're sick, and then we started talking about when you're sick as a kid. And my mother would have these strange ways of like treating me if I was sick, and this was passed down from generations from my grandparents who were Italian, and this is before they had like thermometers and that kind of thing. And for some fucking reason in the early 80s, my mother would still utilize this stuff because she lacked critical thinking skills, right? And so what she would do, to make a long story short, is that if I said, "Mommy, I don't feel good," she would tell me she would tell me to drop my pants, and then she would feel my testicles because apparently, if you have fever, you have droopy testicles. She would feel my head, and then she would feel my balls. Yeah. But instead of realizing that you could skip that step now and just go right to the thermometer to see if she just continued to do that. And she also completely punished me because she only used rectal thermometers, never oral. So I'd get a thermometer right in the ass. And
John,
she wasn't
like
that is terrible. I mean,
today John was like, "Mommy, I'm sick again today."
And then Luna, she would come and she was not a soft person. She would just come and just rip the thermometer right out of my asshole, and I felt like I was gonna shit right there, and it was just
and everything turned out okay. I mean, you know what I mean? Like when you see these like pussy parents that are just like, it's okay, you'll be okay. I'm like, fuck that. If the kid did bad, you spank his ass.
I know, I get it, but I think getting a thermometer up your ass is a little excessive.
Well, that you got the ball squeeze first. So.
Yeah, I got the ball squeeze first. And then Lee asked me what would your mother do if you were constipated? And I remember my mother had this hot water bottle with this hose come right from the hot water bottle right to my asshole, and then she would have the hot water go right in my ass. I swear to God. Yeah. Instead of just feeding me extra fiber or something.
And Lee, you had this experience too?
Lee does not have this experience. No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because my mother learned from my grandmother, her mother-in-law. My grandmother was born in 1890 or something like that. So these were the things they would do before modern technologies. So but by the time she never stopped doing it, she never said to herself, I don't have to do this anymore because we have modern technology. She just kept on fucking doing it. So here's what it is. Yeah.
When you get sick, you tell the missus, "Hey, can you
squeeze my balls?" Yeah, no, you know what's funny? I don't
do it for you now.
Yeah, no.
Hey,
yeah. She'll take care of me. She'll go get me my soup and all that bullshit, but she won't. She won't
stick it up your ass.
Yeah, no.
Takes his dog to the vet and gets jealous when the vet brings out the rectal thermometer. He's like, "Oh,
come on,
the good old days."
That's only for the dog. Come on, give me a shot.
Come on.
Give me a. Yeah, exactly, Alexander. Your mother would give you Senna, which is a natural laxative. My mother would just ram a plastic hose up my ass and run hot water through me, and then it would just backflush.
Milk and magnesia. That shit was.
Did the hose have an end on it, or was it just like the square cut off end of the hose?
No. I think it was you know what it was? I think it was what do you call it? Kind of like a pen, it was smooth and would go in, she would in
the garden hose cut off at the end.
Yeah, to her credit, she would put Vaseline on the thermometer and the hose. Yeah.
Wow.
She wasn't all that bad. You know what I mean? She,
wasn't just like.
Well, that was nice. Get you for Christmas a hose with some Vaseline.
Yeah, it was rough. And I think I turned out. I didn't turn out all right. I'm fucked up.
Yeah.
I think the reason why I love large boot. Well, you know what, Luna? Let me explain. I think I have this theory.
So that made you want to have large. Okay.
Yeah. Let me explain. I think I have this theory as to why my generation, the majority of our generation, and obviously Lee is exempt because he doesn't like big boobs like I do, right? I think my generation, there's a reason why they love big breasts, and the Gen Z and the millennials are more ass man. And now there is no scientific backing to this whatsoever. Okay,
you didn't do a case study and go and survey.
Yes, this has nothing. This is just completely random, and it is
John Science, isn't it?
And it's John Science, yeah. And this is just completely random and just what I came up with in my head. So, all right. So Gen X was the late 60s to I forgot somewhere in the early 80s, right? That was Gen X, right? So I was born in 76. Formula started really becoming popular in the 60s. And by the time you move into the 70s and 80s, the women were not breastfeeding at all anymore. It was all formula. Everything was formula. So I had formula. All my friends had formula. You know, it was not. And then somewhere around the early 90s, I would say, is when all this evidence came out that breastfeeding is actually much better than formula. So then during the early 90s, all the women started breastfeeding again. I think because my generation lacked the tit as a boy, we want the tit. We crave the tit. But the new generation had the tit. And now they're just like, oh, you know, it's no big deal. I've had the tit before. I like asses more. That's my theory. That's my theory.
Great fear. Now, I could imagine if you did get your mum's tit, the way she is squeezing your balls and thermometer, as you're on the tit, she'll be like, that's my little Johnny. Does this feel good?
Dude, I wouldn't have stopped breastfeeding till I was like 16.
Oh, yeah. You'd be still on the tit. You'd be still on the tit, finger popping your mother.
That's disgusting. Did you ever see my mother?
Hey, what she already did to you, nothing. I put nothing off limits.
Jesus Christ. Anyway,
Nice to say about your mother. Have you seen my mother? Come on, your father married your mother. That's not nice.
Yeah, but you know, she was a long time ago. You know, it was just different back then. You know, Italian women during the 1940s and 50s. And, you know, my mother was born in 35. She's 90 now, and she's got like pretty much full dementia. But
oh my gosh.
yeah. So you know, we're talking little hair under the arms,
Hair on the chin,
a little bit. Actually, to be honest with you, she actually was more modern, and she did get rid of that. She did. She was more modern because she was second generation, and she did.
Okay.
She did get rid of that. But you know,
do have that mole on their chin or face, and have
my mother never had a mole, but she would wear a house dress. You know what a house dress is, Luna? Remember those?
Yes.
Okay. Can't they see that hair on their face? Why don't they just snip it off? Because whenever you're talking to someone and they got it, it's like hard to focus. You
want to like just.
Yeah, just want to. Yo, I go get my nose hairs yanked out with wax, and I get my ears yanked out with wax.
That's good, isn't it? When I just go.
Yeah, they just rip it right out.
When it comes out.
What'd you say, Luna?
Just use some tweezers.
No, they really get in there. They get in there, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They get
forest in your nose, like
it's like a huge. It's like a huge, not huge, but it's like a big Q-tip, and it has a wooden stick onto it. They put wax on it and they shove it up your nose. They wait till it dries a little bit and they just rip it out.
It just looks like a hairy lollipop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it does. It does. Because the wax is purple, so it does. And then they do the other side. And then she inspects and she goes, oh, I missed a little.
Does she do your ass too?
No. All right, you want to hear
I figured because you like this ass probing when you were a kid.
Well, I'll explain how I get rid of the hair on my ass. It's a very.
I told you I'm only 85% recovered.
All right. So now I could pretty much see everything. Sometimes my wife shaves my back. Sometimes the girl that waxes my nose waxes my back, right? So I really, my legs, everything I could wax. I mean, I could, shave, but I can't see my asshole, right? So I know nobody can see my ass, but I can't see my asshole. So I learned this trick from a friend.
Okay.
You go get shower nair, not regular nair. Regular nair is too strong. You go get shower nair, or you go get what?
Regular nair would burn, would it?
You don't get the regular nair is too strong. So you get the nair for the shower, or you get nair for men, which is a little bit not as strong. So then what happens is you go into, you get your shower ready and everything, right? And you got to get a washcloth. Can't do it out of a washcloth. And the washcloth has to be white. And I'll explain why it has to be white. So you put the white washcloth in the shower, and you're getting ready. The shower's running, and you take a whole glob of it. You just rub it into your asshole and the gooch. You know what the gooch is, right? The spot between your balls and your asshole, right? You rub it in there, and then you wash your hand. You wash your hand. All right, you got me now?
Yeah, can you now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So then, you get a gloop of shower nair, and you rub it in there, and then you wash your hands, and then after a minute or two, you start feeling a little tingle, right? You start feeling a tingle. So then you jump in the shower.
Yeah.
and then you wait to give it a few more minutes. So then when it really starts tingling, that means you're ready to go. So then what you do is you take the white washcloth.
Wipe it, do you?
Yeah, the washcloth has to be white.
Why?
But I'll explain. Then you put some soap on it.
You can see the hair that's like
Right.
being removed.
So then when you wipe your ass with the white washcloth, you could see the hair that you pulled away. If it's any other color, you're gonna have trouble seeing the hair, right? Sometimes you gotta think, Lee. You gotta think about these
how do you know
things.
if you've got all the hair if you can't see? Yeah, hair might come off.
I'm glad you asked me that.
You're gonna see little pieces hanging around your asshole.
I'm glad you asked me that. So,
he braids them then. He just
gets the mirror, lays on his back.
So what I do is then I take my bare hand and then I just feel around in there. And then if I just feel skin and no hair, hey, we're good. Because it's my asshole. Nobody's looking.
But around
right?
the asshole, you can have soft hair, and if you just use your hands, you might not feel it.
It doesn't matter. It's in my asshole. It's not like on my face or anything like that. So, it's good enough. And then there are times, and you got guys, if you guys are going to try this, you got to remember this. This is really important.
So
if you leave the nail in there too long and it burns, it starts burning. And after you get it all out and you come out of the shower and your asshole is burning, you get yourself some Neosporin and you rub this Neosporin in your asshole on the gooch, knocks it right out.
This seems like a lot of trouble just to get here.
I know.
Listen, not everybody is gifted like Lee, where he's like famous and rich and everybody wants to meet him. Sometimes you got to do these things, Somebody
else that does it for us.
You gotta make sure,
I should just put my leg up on the bath and spread my ass cheeks and put a razor in there and try and go as much as I could, hoping I didn't cut anything.
Yeah, and I did that once, and I did nick the boys one time, and I was like, okay, I'm not doing that anymore. Yeah, I nicked the boys because like testicles aren't smooth. There's like all cracks and crevices in there. So when
they're not pretty looking.
Yeah, they're not. So they're like, so when you shave, you could go over a crack or a groove, and it's like, oh shit. So I'm like, I'm not doing that. All right, if you guys want to know anything else.
So, are you a Marvels fan, Lee? Because I noticed you got the Iron Man behind you.
Oh, the mask, yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, what do you think of the new Captain America saying that the new Captain America has got nothing to do with America? That's strange.
I know, because that's what he was built on, wasn't he? The American flag colors.
Yeah.
Captain America, but it's got nothing to do with America.
Yeah. What's his name? Anthony
Mackie.
Anthony Mackie. Yeah.
I heard it's pretty woke, the new one. The people that have seen like private screenings or whatever, they said it's a little bit woke.
I hate that woke shit.
I know.
Really do.
Because it's they need a.
Well, originally they said
now that we have administration that is going to change this wokeness.
Oh God, me too.
Bucky with the Winter Soldier was meant to be, I think, the new Captain America. So I don't know why they went with the Mackie character. Bucky was meant to be because he was like, he had the same injections.
Didn't Mackie wasn't he another Marvel character before this?
Yeah, the Falcon, wasn't he? The Falcon.
Yeah, it was the Falcon.
Yeah. Got no powers really, apart from that suit he puts on.
Not for nothing. When we were kids, Christopher Reeve was always fucking Superman. Mm-hmm. But nobody else could fucking keep we had 17 fucking Batmans, 14 Jokers. Now we got different Captain America. Like, I don't know.
Spider-Man too.
Yeah. Spider-Man. There's like a gazillion Spider-Mans. It's unbelievable.
And all this dumb multi-universe things.
Getting confusing, the multiverse.
Yeah, I can't keep. I'm not a big comic book person. Lee is the comic book guy. I'm not much of that.
I like the movies, not comic books. But then it's like when they bring all these movies out, it's like then to put them in order. Like the last one is like the first one. If you to watch them in order of how they're meant to go, it's so confusing. It's like, well, that one happened there. Then this, that's because the fifth one is really the second one. So you got to watch the first one, and the fifth one is the second one. It's like, oh fuck, that's just too much work for my brain.
Yeah, and what's happening? Like because I look up because I look up all this information on my phone or on my laptop. So then they have like animation of the actual comic books that come up. And I never watched it. I never saw the stuff, but every once in a while I'll watch one here or there. And the creativity that goes into it is incredible. like
Oh,
incredible things I
those
never
comic-
thought of, and it's
there's
not
comic-
woke at all.
No, but if there's comic
No.
book fans, oh my God, have you ever seen them when they bring out a new, whether it be Deadpool and Wolverine or the Superman? Like these comic book people are so into comic books. If they make a movie and it's a little bit off from the comic book, oh my God, they lose their shit.
Yeah, well, I get it. The thing is that last trailer of Superman, that one bothered me because it's
No,
like
you
I,
just make a dog.
I like it's not the dog. I mean, the first clip of Superman got his ass kicked from somebody who's bleeding and laying in the snow. I'm like, well, that's not Superman.
But it's
That's
probably
like
Lex Luthor because they're already enemies, and Lex Luthor knows kryptonite annoys him. And normally, when he's bleeding, that's because there's kryptonite around. It's the only thing that sort of
Yeah.
so, and then they make him. He must have lost like 20 pounds of muscle because he's like 110 pounds in that suit. So you got like you got a fucking Fanoik for Superman.
got broccoli hair when he's
When they
hot.
start changing the story, when they start just doing too many like variations, and you're just
It just looks to me. It looks to yeah. It just looks to me that they intentionally made Superman look weaker physically than the Supermans from the past.
On toxic masculinity, they got to
Right. That's what it looks like. He's very thin. He doesn't have that chiseled face. You see him not very confident. He's getting his ass kicked.
Like I
he's
said,
got
when he's Clark Kent, he's got broccoli hair and the glasses now.
yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
God.
You
This whole, it's like, well, we can even go with the bodybuilding thing, like this whole like fit, curvy girls. I don't get that. Like, it's like, are they just trying to get people up on stage? Like, it's.
Did you see that woman rapper who's like 700 pounds and she's suing Uber because
she got denied on the Uber.
Yeah, because the Uber wouldn't. And then she was doing a show and she was rapping and she was dancing and she fell backwards because she was so fat. I don't know if you saw that. She just tumbled over.
Was she like a beetle on her back and she couldn't turn over?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I swear. I put it on my stories, but it's off already. It came. I did it like last week or something like that. It's just unbelievable. Luna, where could people find you if people want to see more of Luna Mons and her breasts? Where can they find you?
IG,
Instagram. Where else? Twitter. You're not doing the OnlyFans anymore? What?
Fuck that.
I'm so tired of it. John's like, damn it, got to cancel my subscription.
The fuck, man. What? Oh, let me get.
I'm telling you, it's like
hubby pulled the cord. Hubby.
No,
husband.
I'm
really?
the one. Well, let me tell you, when you get so many cheap ass motherfuckers out there that are just like they just don't appreciate like what you got. Press. And I'm like, I'm done. You know what? You can go and see some 18-year. I don't care. I'm just I have a different perspective. This is why I decided I'm going back to school and I'm gonna just achieve other things. Still stay in the whole bodybuilding scene.
Did you go back to school yet or no?
It won't be to the end of March.
Okay. Just I'm gonna warn you. I'm not gonna reveal your age, but your brain doesn't work like it does when it was 19. It doesn't. Okay. It's not like when you're 18 and in college and the professor is
you're so inspiring.
Yeah, the professor
I know, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm just letting you know.
Hey, by the
way, your brain doesn't work the way it used to. That's all I'm saying. When you're 18 and you're sitting in the class,
you gotta be stupid when you go back to school. I just want you to know.
Yeah. And yeah, it's like, it's never too old. You're never too. Sometimes I'm not saying not to. I'm just saying it's going to be tougher than it was when you were 18.
Well, it also depends too. I mean, when I was 18, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I went to college, but it wasn't the right choice.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean. Like, people mature later in life.
John Mancini's a white knight. Thank you for being the white knight and her savior. Don't listen to John. You'll be fine, Luna. I'm just saying, at 18, when the professor's going off like a machine gun and you're able to absorb it, at our age, not so much. And believe me, the reason why I know this is because I still have to take classes at work. And I go, what the fuck did this guy just say? And I just know your brain doesn't work. I'm 48. My brain does not work the way it did at 18. It does not. And
Well,
I'll prove it. I'll prove it.
maybe you
How
need
many
to
times?
challenge it more, because I mean, we don't use all of our brain matter. You know that.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
there's a
we're
lot
regular.
more that you can
Well, I'm
use.
just saying it's going to be tougher than you think. That's all I'm saying. That's
I
it.
didn't say it was going to be easy.
And here's the thing. It's a good thing you're not looking to go any smaller, are you?
John's just trying to get you back on OnlyFans.
I know.
Don't tell me you're looking to go any smaller now. Are you looking to go smaller?
I'm not saying anything.
Son of a bitch. All right. I'm just gonna say that it will probably help if you have a male.
Lee, this may be my last time I'm on the show, because now that he knows all this stuff, he's gonna be like, she's not worthy.
Oh, actually, Luna, I have to thank you. I totally forgot about this. I have to thank you because I finally got Ava Devine to commit to an interview on my other channel.
Awesome.
Because you were the one that reached out to her for me.
Mm-hmm.
And you gave her my number and she contacted me. So finally, she came on. So thank you very much for that. I totally forgot about that because that was a year ago. So I kept being a pain in the ass for a year, and she finally committed. I think next week she's coming on. She's another one with giant bosoms. Mm-hmm. And how's your husband doing?
He's doing great.
Is he still bodybuilding, or he's
Yeah, it's for him. It's just a lifestyle. He doesn't want. Yeah. He's not thinking about competing. He just wants to just look big.
Yeah. How big is he?
By the way, we're going to the Arnold. Are you going to be at the Arnold, Lee?
Lee? Oh no, I'm not.
But now I'm not going to be.
Yeah, neither one of us are.
Oh, damn it! I was gonna try to see if I could get a photo with you.
Because I've been in the hospital, they reckon I shouldn't travel. So
oh my goodness!
I've got to travel again in May to Italy and then July to Europe. So.
And he was supposed to come on vacation with me, but he's not doing that now because he's got work.
Gee.
Oh my God.
Fucking Lee's got to make a living. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. You want to make a living, Lee? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Shit.
Maybe you need to be probed more. Maybe you'd be better. Maybe you'd be more happy.
Well, if I was probed more?
Yeah. Maybe that's what you're missing in life.
Well, maybe that's why gay people are so happy.
Come here.
Right, they even took the word gay, right? That's not a bad idea. Maybe I'll try that.
There you go.
Yeah, I know. I'm just fucked up, Luna. But Luna, listen, I know I was teasing, but all the love and respect in the world, and I know that whatever. I know you got thick skin.
Harmless.
Yeah. Whatever you decide to do, I know you're going to be successful at, because you and your husband, are great people, and all the love and respect, and give my best wishes to your husband. So I know I break chops a lot. I
know that's what you are. That's from the from the north. And I'm going to bring it back to you. So
yeah. If you get anybody watching this, if you go to my other channels, there have been times when me and Luna were hysterical. Like you've been on my other channel, I think 3 or 4 times, and every time it's fun, So we covered the news one time, and then the first time I interviewed you,
yeah, and one time you went to go take a fucking leak in the middle of. I'm about to hear you.
Yeah, I think.
Speaking of leaks, I got to go take another one in a minute.
That's all right.
You're drinking that much water.
All right, guys, I'm gonna let you go. Listen, much love and respect, Luna. Of course, always. Lee, will you be back on Thursday to do? Okay, good.
My Thursday.
Yeah, your Thursday or whatever, same time, 12:30, whatever it is.
Send me a message.
All right, guys. Thank you very much, Lee. All the best, and I will see everybody.
Take an antibiotic now.
Oh, very nice. I will see everybody very, very soon. Later, people.